So we're just doing the view kind of thing, 4 chicks sitting around talking?
About Lindsay.
Okay.
About Lindsay. That's going to remind me that that's my copy. 4 chicks sitting around talking about Lindsay.
You know, come to the best, you get the best.
Is this thing rolling, or are we just...
The Lindsay house?
The Lindsay.
A woman who made enough to buy a house that
That her husband called the Lindsay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something about a multi-million-dollar deal. I think that would maybe include a house and some other sort of contribution.
And I like the little day-to-day results too. You know what I mean? Like the calling you out when you are just being frightened and you're not like in your confidence and your genius, and just do the work that you were meant to be doing, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes she'll put it in her own sort of terms, like, okay, so now children are going to continue to go hungry because I don't make enough money to help solve that problem. So my being like, oh, will it work? My hesitancy is really having a negative, dramatic impact, more than just I didn't make more money this year. But
Yeah,
like
that's
I
what I mean
didn't.
by contribution.
Yeah, I didn't cause
Yeah.
change, real change.
Puts it in perspective.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
what's the real impact of this, or negative impact of it?
yeah, because I think a lot of us know we can make a lot of money, but really, how much do you need for yourself, right?
I like being in a group that are getting results, because in masterminds that I've been in the past, there's been like, out of everybody, we're getting results. I mean, I don't care what everybody else does. And so some people will get, disgruntled because they're being asked to up level. Like, part of them wanted that, and then part of them is kind of falling behind. And so in my experience in the past, in the masterminds that I've been in, or the group coaching programs and things like that, like, I've been among the ones who get any results, and then everybody else is like either cheerfully still trying or kind of moaning and complaining. And I feel like it's helpful to me to see other people getting results and to feel like, ooh, like I told you recently, like, ooh, Sarah got really good sales. I'm gonna catch up to her, and that's motivating to me. So I want to be inspired and called forward by the other people that I'm with, and that I think that's exciting to me.
Well, and I like to be around women that are, working on their businesses and they're deep in it, like I am. Because you get that feeling of companionship and like camaraderie. Because when you go home, sometimes you feel like you're all alone. But then when you come together and you make these friendships, and then you go home and you still feel that part of that, and can reach out, and it's really supportive and empowering.
That's interesting. I've consciously chosen to be a part of call it sales, call it masterminds, call it communities that are on a different trajectory, and I'm really choosy about where I spend my time and who I spend my time with. And I think I even mentioned something earlier about, we were talking about numbers and being surrounded by like 200 people, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
Right.
Like, I don't do that. It's that where I spend my time, I want it to be really concentrated. So, and I also want that time to be of really high quality. So when you were talking, I was just sort of reflecting on what was true for me in what you were saying, and also how I choose. I want to be involved in a conversation that's bigger. I'd say it's not just bigger, it's about breadth and depth, where it's about global impact and influence, and how our ability to make money is actually in our ability to lead and change the world, and really lead at our highest level. And for me, that's not everyone's path necessarily, but it's the path that I know that I'm here for. And I remember when I chose to be here, there was a really clear moment where I was in the car with my husband, and I said to my husband, I want to learn the art of sales. And it's something I've been in the business of sales in always, right, in some capacity. But I said, I've learned the art of coaching, right? It's like my craft, and I've been coaching for over 17 years, and I sort of see it as this art and science, and it's something that I love, and I learn and grow in that space. And I think of sales similarly now, where I actually crave to get better at it. And I remember that conversation was a defining moment where I was like, I want to spend this year getting like that sort of intimately related with sales. Like, it sounds funny, right? But because I want it to be a craft, because my end goal is about world change, right? And I know that sales is a vehicle.
At this level in our business, I don't need like a big fundamental concept. Like, I know big like that. We know the
It's not a
101 and the
technique.
201 and the 301. There will be one little freaking thing, and we did talk about this also yesterday, that you're like, oh, I just got it. And you feel a puzzle piece that has been kind of askew for years fall into place, and I think that's what I'm getting. I think I'm hearing things that I always like mostly knew 98%, and then you get that last 2%, and that last 2% is like rocket fuel.
And it's really not rocket surgery, right?
Yeah.
It's just having the purpose always in mind. So it's not just technique, because technique feels to me like trickery or too slick or manipulative, but the way that she has more of a fleshed out approach, that you have all the same tools in your toolbox, right? But you're applying them with finesse, not just everything is a nail because you have a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to articulate that, but it's without something cliched like, well, it has more heart. But it just feels a little bit more holistic, I think would be the best description for me.
Lindsay's brand essence is love. Like, the essence, I feel like the gift you were brought to earth to bring is love. The thing you were here to learn is love. And Lindsay taught me that.
I would say on the flip side of that, because although I would say, like, for parts of what you're saying, like, I thrive in accountability. I'm also highly very much a self-starter. So you could give me like a tiny bit of accountability, and I'm like, I'm already like 10 miles down the road. So that's good. But for me, the most loving thing was actually for me, like, and when I reflect on what it was, I've seen her do a lot of loving things with a lot of people, but she's actually held me in spaces of total like free fall. I know you guys have witnessed me in spaces of fear, right? Just moments of needing to look at like lifelong patterns, right? Where it was about saying, okay, this default mode, let's actually release it so that we can move forward and elevate not just what's possible for me, but all of the millions of people who are going to be impacted by my work in my lifetime. Has helped me, like, holding me in that space, like, right, like holding me in that fear and saying, I've got your back, like, trust me and trust yourself, right? And then we've got it, right? We've got it, and we do. And that was the most loving thing I've seen for myself, right? Like, I'm speaking for as an individual in this moment. But,
well, just adding on to that, Sarah, having that knowingness that Lindsay's in it with you, whether you're soaring up here with your sales or if you're down here, but you know that she's there with you. Her presence and attention is like 100% right there and right on the whole time.
Part of the frustration that drove me to Lindsay and was, okay, I'm sick of this. And I just want to see like a hockey stick right at this point, where it's just like a breakthrough. Because like 2 of the exercises that I've done with her have been like so life-changing. Like, I talked about the foundation one the other day, and then the thing that we did at our at the last retreat or training thing, where she was like, talk about how much you're going to earn over
lifetime value.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, how have I not done this before? And how did I felt like some people had these like stratospheric numbers, and I was like, come on. And I was like, I'm going to do really like.
I was probably one of those
you
people.
were one of those people. But
I have a big number.
I was like, I'm gonna do the lowest
Crunches the numbers.
number. I'm just gonna do like a minimal number. And I just did like the barest minimum number, and the result, the lifetime, and I was like, and I'm not working.
But why?
Because I thought, let's just see how what this really is.
You don't like money?
I didn't want this to be a what bothers me in
Like
some of my
magical
clients is
thinking.
like magical thinking. Yes. Like I'm like, what are you earning right now? 0 to 50. What do you want to earn in the next 12 months?
$7 million.
I mean, they will literally write $1 million or 7,000. I'm like, did you accidentally add a 0? Like you can, okay. But, so I thought, I'm no magical thinking. I'm doing like anti-magical thinking. And my number was still astronomical. And I was like, oh my God. Every time I feel like every time I'm small, I thought, wow, I can't believe this number. Like, talk about the puppies I could save, and talk about we could endow a wing of a college. So I just thought, this is completely transformative, and why haven't I done this before? And to me, coaching and mentoring is all about the quality of the questions that you ask, and your presence and what you allow someone to discover. Sometimes for themselves, sometimes what you impart, but just for me, that was like, what? So, in a good way.
years?
10.
I'm just thinking my child will be 55 years old. And I don't even want to think about how old I will be. But I'm thinking my son will be 55 years old. And he's going to have a family. And he's going to live in a pretty fantastic world, in part because of what we've created here. It's pretty wild. Hi, my name is Sarah Kaler, and over the last 17 years, I've been building world-class teams at well-known brands such as Lululemon Athletica, Nature's Path, Hilton Hotels, Accenture, and many more.
For the last 20 years, I've been working as a media and entertainment lawyer in New York City. I've worked with some amazing people and done cutting-edge deals for talent like Frank Sinatra and Mary J. Blige, and big media companies like Amazon and Sony Global Digital.
Before our first conversation, she sent out some questions to think about, and I actually wrote down, sat down and seriously thought them through. And I came up with the idea of creating a foundation with my husband, because we don't have children, but we want to leave a legacy. And that it just took the lid off of what is possible for my business. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so much bigger. And in this lifetime, while I'm alive, I would like to spend a lot of money on rescue animals, because that's my cause. But after this, well, there's a lot I want to do, and I think we can, because we won't be here, and we won't have little pieces of ourselves and DNA here. And I hope there will be a world for your children, and that it won't get destroyed. And I'm willing to do, through my business, work that will allow that to happen, no matter what crappy choices other people are making. So that fired me up about the idea of working with Lindsay, oddly, even though it was just a completely peripheral question. And since I've been working in my business, it's fired me up about getting results that bring in money that kind of don't really need, because now I see, oh, the world needs that money. It's not for us, it's for what I want to do, it's for my intentions, and that really helped me. I've never not loved my clients, I've never not loved what I do, but I have felt, meh about it, about the actual, purpose of it or whatever. And that really helped me connect to it. So I don't think there's anything more important than connecting to your why, reconnecting to your why, and bringing that into your work every single day.
Can you describe your specific results? Any single specific results?
just like quadrupling my sales has probably been my biggest result.
Only that.
Only that.